This guy goes to the supermarket not to shop, but to clear out every shelf in sight. He even maxed out 3 credit cards at the checkout. The cashier standing nearby couldn't help but ask,
Is this because of that thing? Flu? Should I go somewhere?
The man was silent for a few seconds, but in the end, he kindly offered a word of warning.
You should go home.
By the time he walks out, it's snowing heavily, but he hadn't gone far when a car suddenly appeared ahead, crashing into a tree over and over again like a madman. The man realized something was wrong, and immediately walked over to check on the situation. There was no response from inside the car. He cautiously approached and discovered the driver looked very strange.
Don't open the door.
The next second, the driver started coughing. The man didn't dare linger and quickly turned to leave. It turned out that just a few days earlier, while Jivan was watching a play, the actor Arthur suddenly suffered a heart attack. Jivan rushed onto the stage to check on him. By then, Arthur had already stopped breathing. Without a moment's hesitation, Jivan immediately helped the staff perform CPR, but the attack had come too quickly and violently. Within just a few minutes, the man had completely lost all vital signs. The theater had turned into an eerie scene of death. Just as Jivan was leaving the theater, he spotted a girl standing there all alone. After asking her, he learned that the woman who was looking after her was in the ambulance. Jivan was a kind-hearted person. He took Young to the subway station, intending to take her straight home, but just as the train started moving, a call suddenly came in from his sister. Her voice trembled with panic. The hospital had admitted a large number of patients with severe flu. Don't believe a word of what's in the news, she said. Chicago is completely screwed. His sister screamed, urging him to avoid contact with anyone, to go find his brother Frank immediately, and to protect himself at all costs. Jivan's expression instantly turned grave. He realized an unknown disaster was about to strike. Chaos reigned on the other end of the line. After a few more brief instructions, his sister hurriedly hung up. Jivan got off the subway without hesitation. The news had left his mind a blank. Only after calming down did he remember he was still with a child. Jivan knew there was no time to waste. The top priority was to get Young safely home. Thankfully, they finally arrived at Young's doorstep. Jivan had intended to wait until she went inside before leaving, but the girl knocked for a long time, and there was still no response from inside. Jivan froze on the spot. He never imagined that simply offering a helping hand would drag him into such a desperate situation. He simply couldn't bear to leave a child behind here. Meanwhile, at the hospital where his sister was, the place was already packed to the brim. The patient's symptoms were strikingly similar. Many were already delirious and completely limp. The doctors were at a loss, able only to treat the symptoms with ordinary flu medication. But the medication had barely any effect. Everyone knew deep down that an uncontrollable, overwhelming disaster had already struck. Meanwhile, Jivan was sorting through the large bags of groceries he'd bought. Though Young was young, she sensed something was wrong. She asked Jivan what was going on, and why he'd bought so much. Knowing he couldn't hide it any longer, Jivan told her the truth. They quickly made their way to their younger brother Frank's apartment. Jivan explained the situation to the security guard, lying that the girl was their niece, and that the food behind them was for a party. The guard didn't think much of it. After confirming with Frank over the phone, he readily let the two of them in. They arrived at their brother's home. Frank looked completely bewildered. It was bad enough that they'd shown up in the middle of the night, but they'd also brought so much food. Jivan